Let's get into what this looks like in the classroom. What are some behaviors that you have witnessed from students that have triggered an emotional response? So what are some things that are happening in your classroom, kind of like the beginning question, but maybe just more general, that are triggering an emotional response from you that you would like to avoid? It's really important for you to acknowledge the things that are triggering this sort of response for you, because the first step is always acknowledging. And then you can sort of, as you sort of craft your mindfulness practice, you start to be able to see why these things are triggering that response with you. And you can see them sort of without judgment, if that makes sense. Okay, so if you practice mindfulness, which is, and I'm going to share some strategies with you and also talk a little bit about meditation. But if you practice mindfulness regularly, you will notice, you're going to notice a lot of different things. But one of the things you're going to notice is that small problems in your classrooms stay small, and you notice them. You notice them before they become big problems, because you are present and you're much more aware, because you're in that calm state of mind, right? When your amygdala is deactivated and you are thinking clearly and you're in a calm state of mind, you notice and observe things much, much, much differently. I'm sure you already know this, but we don't put enough attention into, sometimes as teachers, into self-care and mindfulness, because we're so focused on other things that are being, asked of us. But it is so incredibly important. When you have that calm state of mind, you're gonna make much better decisions. So these are just some guidelines, okay? When something happens, so first of all, when something happens in your classroom, this is one of the best pieces of advice that I have ever gotten as a teacher. And it was actually Leah Gooch who gave me this advice. Something happens, you don't have to do anything yet. You don't have to do anything right now. Unless, and I'm gonna say maybe 98% of the time, you don't have to do anything right in that moment. It feels like you do, but you normally don't, unless it's a serious safety issue. Almost all the time, you can take a minute and breathe and try to gain some composure. And I know it sounds silly, but even if you take 10 seconds using some of these techniques, you're gonna make a much, much, much different decision, okay? So remember that, when something happens, you don't have to do anything right now. You can wait a second, okay? Breathe, take 1, 2, 3 deep breaths. Wait, just wait a second. You don't have to do anything right at that second. If you're speaking to a student, remember to listen. Even if you are 100% sure that they are wrong or they are lying, just listen and get information. You're going to get information even if it's the wrong information. You want to observe. Then if you do all of these things, then you can make a proper assessment as to what's going on. And then afterwards, if nothing goes the way that you planned, which it might not, the important thing is to reflect and think about what you could have done next time. Why? Because later on, you're going to be in that calm state of mind and you'll be able to see things a lot more clearly. So important thing is, whenever you are in that calm state of mind, even after the incident occurs, you have to make a plan of action for what you're going to do next so that that problem doesn't happen again. Okay? Take advantage of that calm state of mind. These are just guidelines.